AsSalamu Alykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to episode 20 of Ramadan Series Season 2. We'll be continuing on through our journey through the last 29 surahs of Juz Amma. Today we'll be taking Surah Al-Humazah, the Slanderer. It is the 104th surah of the Quran and is also a Makki surah, meaning it was revealed in Mecca. This is one of the several surahs, several chapters that challenge the Meccans to rethink the significance of certain practices that were taken for granted as a part of everyday life. Although slander and gossip were looked down upon as they are in every society, for the first time the notion is introduced that such behavior is immoral and ultimately sinful. It is said that this chapter, was revealed about a Meccan pagan named Akhnas ibn Shariq al-Thaqafi, who slandered the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam publicly. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ويل لكل همزة لمزة الذي جمع مالا وعدده يحسب أن ماله أخلده كلا لينبذن في الحطمة وما أدراك ما الحطمة نار الله الموقدة التي تطلع على الأفئدة إنها عليهم مؤصدة في عمد ممددة. In the name of God, the most compassionate, most merciful. Woe to every backbiter, slanderer, who amasses wealth greedily and counts it repeatedly, thinking that their wealth will make them immortal. Not at all. Such a person will certainly be tossed into the crusher, and what will make you realize what the crusher is? It is God's kindled fire, which rages over the hearts. It will be sealed over them, tightly secured with long braces. So a short tafsir on this is that in ayah number 1 it says, woe to every backbiter and slanderer. A man once asked the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ to define backbiting for him. The Prophet ﷺ replied, it is mentioning your brother in a way that he doesn't like. That the man that asked, what if what I said about my brother was true? The Prophet ﷺ answered, if what you said about him was true, then you still would have engaged in backbiting. And if what you said about him was false, then you would have slandered him. Riwahu Abu Dawood and Tirmidhi. The Prophet ﷺ said, slander is worse than adultery. He was then asked how that can be worse than adultery, to which he replied, if a person commits adultery, he can be forgiven by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if he repents. However, a slanderer will not be forgiven until he is forgiven by the person about whom he was talking badly or he slandered. The classical commentator Qatada described the first ayah of this surah as being about those who torture others with their tongue and eyes with cruel stares. The Prophet ﷺ also said, the worst of Allah's servants are those who speak ill of one another in order to cause hatred between friends, and also those who constantly find fault with other people. Jazakallahu khairan for listening today. See you tomorrow, Insha Allah. Wassalamu Alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.